What's good, y'all? Your boy IronAngel here, and there was something I wanted to talk about that shout out to Maximilian dude, was talking about on his channel. It's only 2 minutes long, but I want to talk more about that because I agree with him 100%, and this is something I've been saying for a while. Not on YouTube. I'm talking about just out here in the world talking to people, and it's about casual players. Before I get into it, let's hear what he has to say first. It's only 2 minutes long.
Getting bullied and fighting him is a perfect way to learn the game, and it's rough as hell. Right. But you have to understand this, and I'm going to speak in complete defense of casuals, and this is 100% okay. We see things through a fighting game community spectrum, right? Where it just is like, you either are going to learn the hard way, or just that's the way or the highway, right? People are allowed to jump in and play a fighting game and go online and hit some buttons without any preconceived notion of getting any better, and do it for as long as they want. People are 100% allowed to play a fighting game for 2 weeks, not learn, but think it looks really cool and never play it ever again. In fact, those people are the reason you even have a Guilty Gear Strive. Those people are the reason this game has sold 300,000 units. Some people just like fighting games to be entertainment, and they don't want to feel like they have to dedicate their entire life to it. So to me,
that's what. Let me finish first. Oops, sorry if you heard that. I hit my microphone, but there's a lot I want to say on this.
That's like the casual audience. That represents a huge portion of people that are playing fighting games. These are the people that are like floor 5, potentially below. They have no interest in rising floors. They just want to go fight some people that are doing the same they are.
With their favorite character.
That's completely fine. Like, I know a ton of people jumped into Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and it was like their first big casual like fighting game, and they actually got into it, and then they eventually do the hardest, most concise, ridiculous combos in the world. Why? Because they loved the game. It wasn't the fact that they were pressured to get better or had to fight people that were insanely better than they were. It was the fact that the game gave them reasons, characters and cool visuals and whatever, to make them continue forward. Players will get converted to the point where they're going to want to get better and they're going to want to do more stuff. But that conversion process is going to happen naturally, regardless of how hard or difficult some things are in the game.
That's how I used to be. All right, so that was it. It was only 2 minutes long, but I really wanted to touch base on it. I saw this video. It was 2 years ago. I didn't know he made this video that long. But he is 100% correct. And before I get into it, I will say I was one of those people who was at fault when it comes to going at casual players. And my immature days. Actually, if you look at some of my in Mortal Kombat 11 videos that I'm posting now, those are old videos, by the way. Old ones that I didn't share with y'all. I've been holding it for a few years, and I decided just to release them before Mortal Kombat 1 comes out. But if you listen to those, you hear my flaws in there as well. I'm talking about, why are you always jumping? Stop jumping. Stop running. Who are we to tell somebody else how to play the game? Now, I'm not talking about the toxic people who are just trying to do it to ruin your day. But like he said, there are some people who are just there to press buttons and see what happens. And I was one of those people that was at fault of going at them. Now, thank God I never went at them, as in I sent them messages or say anything. But they could have maybe watched the video I did. And, how dare I tell that person how to play the game? Just because I want to get better and learn combos or whatever, or get but doesn't mean they have to. They're on the game. They paid for it just like I did. So they have every right. And so first, I want to get that out the way. I was that person. And when you see those old videos of me call those casual players out who are jumping around, no, I was wrong. And I want to say that. Those are old videos, and a lot of people y'all know that was old video. You can tell from the quality, you can tell, and my voice is different, and how I play now is different from how you see me play then. But I was wrong, and that's a fault that a lot of us have. And I want to touch not just in the fighting game community, but gaming in general. One thing, and I've learned this in time. One thing I've learned is the casual players, and he touched base on it a little bit. The casual players. And even players like me who are just a little above casual or a little bit more above casual, we are usually the selling points. We are the ones who make the sales who does great sales for the game. We are those players. If you look at the ones who are professional and the highest of high tier players, there ain't many of them. Which is what kind of makes them unique in their own way. Because let's say Street Fighter, for example, there are master players. There's over 2 million. I'm just going to throw a number. It's like 2 million people playing Street Fighter, but probably in the thousands, and that's a stretch, of master players. You really think the game is selling because of those master players? No, it's the casual who are playing regular matches, and it's the ones who are like me who are taking their time to get better. So we have to appreciate, and this is in every game, those casual players, because in order for a game to keep going, they have to make sales. And who are we to sit there and bash someone on how they play because they don't play our style? We shouldn't do that. And if we want to keep this game flowing, I believe, and this is my opinion, we should leave them alone, because the game Mortal Kombat, for example, whatever game, I play Overwatch, whatever. The lifespan of those games ain't going to last if those players leave, because they're the ones who are usually making the games. And I know, like I said, there's going to be some people that are like, no, there are these games that are selling because of the pro players. Those are very few. But the majority of the games you see, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, so on and so forth, whatever game you play, most of the time the sales are great is because of casual players and those who are above. It's not because of the pro players. So I say that to say, give the player, if you're like a high tier player, whether it's Overwatch or whatever, if you are a high tier player, give the ones who are, I ain't gonna say under you, because I don't want to be little. Give the ones who are not as skilled as you, or even just a higher rank than you, who doesn't have a badge of a rank, give them a break. Because they're the ones who are keeping the game flourishing for you to keep dominating in your field. And like I said, I was guilty of that. And I thank God I've never been crazy. Like, I've never been crazy toxic with it. But I still shouldn't tell somebody how to play the game. Now, on defense of those who would usually go at the casual players, there are some casuals that will complain about the game or say, why don't I get better? I can always lose. The one thing casual players got to learn is that you usually are not going to win against high tier players. People that are above you and really above you. That's not going to happen. So if you want to win games, I will advise you get better. Like, that's another thing. I want to defend us and and those who are higher than me as well, with those who always want to complain to us in the casual realm of always losing and that we're cheating because we want to take the time to learn the game. No. I respect you as a casual player. Do what you want to do. If you want to jump all day, jump all day. If you want to back up and run away, do what you want to do. That's my job to get the win. Do what you want to do. As long as you're not toxic. Let me put that out there. Teabagging or cussing people out, stuff like that. That's a whole different conversation. But don't complain when you meet those people who want to get better and are doing better than you and always winning, because they want to have fun but also get better at the game. That's me. I like to have fun at whatever I'm doing, but I also want to get better at what I'm playing. That's my focus. Like, if you see my channel, it says having fun but still competitive. That's me. So I will say that for the casual players. But Max is right. The reason, like Guilty Gear, he's talking about, the reason they sell so many copies is not because of the professional players. It's not. The people you see at Evo, those, top 8, whatever you want to call it, those people are not selling the game, making it great sales. No. When you heard that Street Fighter, there was a month ago? Something like that. I think it was before Comic-Con. But they said that Street Fighter sold millions of copies or something like that. Trust me, those millions are not all No, there's only a few percent of those who take the game seriously and are working at high levels. That 2 million sales is not from those type of players. They're from the casuals that just love. I know someone that just loves Ryu. He wants to play with Ryu, and he's a grown man. He wants to play with Ryu no matter what game he's in. Ryu could be in Smash Brothers. He could be that. He was going to play it because Ryu's in it. There are a lot of people like that than there are those who want to take the game seriously and all the mechanics and reads and all that stuff. And all are welcome. But that's how we should keep it, though. Welcome each one. You know, when we meet a casual player, don't talk down on them. Don't talk down on them, which I used to be guilty of that. You know, even though I wasn't toxic, still I was guilty of it. You know, I wasn't like crazy toxic. I was still guilty of it in the past. You know, get our win and move on. You know, but I believe everybody, and this goes for Overwatch, because there's a lot of people that Overwatch has it more than I've ever seen. And let me see, it's been a minute since I've seen other games. People are if you're not their rank, then you're just garbage, or you're just this, or you just, or it's crazy. Like for me, for example, I would move up in ranks. I would go from bronze to, like when I was a while ago, I was on bronze. Oh man, you so trash, you can't even get to silver. I got to silver. Oh man, you so trash, you can't even get to gold. I got to gold. Oh man, you can't get to gold. You got the plat. I got the plat. And then after that, and then after plat, oh man, you can't. It gets ridiculous to where I just didn't care about rank no more. In that sense, I play rank for me, but I don't play to improve points no more. And that's how anybody should play. Who cares about proving points to people you don't even know? I don't even care about proving points to people I do know. So I definitely ain't gonna do it to people I don't know. But just this mindset is what kills community sometimes. People, and I realize this, you know, like I said, I stay in the background a lot and just watch stuff from afar. But one thing I've noticed is that sometimes it's not the developers or the company that's losing a lot of player bases. Sometimes it's us gamers that do that because of how we treat somebody that's not as good as us or is not at a rank that we are. We actually got, I think, and this is my opinion, I think we as gamers need to stop. Now, we need to stop and look at ourselves and see how we're treating those in this community. I want Overwatch to do better. Well, how about you act better? You know? I want this to do better. Well, how about look at yourself? And again, there was, like I said, in the fighting game community with Mortal Kombat, I was guilty of that. And when the new game comes out, Mortal Kombat 1, I'm going to do better, keep my mouth closed, and stop looking at and judging somebody else's play style. You know, wrongly, if that's a word. But I learned, yes, developers and companies have made mistakes, but I always look at us as gamers too, because I've had people say, look, I can't play this game no more because all people do is trash on me. You're garbage, you're this, you're that. And I'm not talking about that friendly trash talk. You know the difference when you're just giving friendly trash talk to you actually bringing somebody down. You know, there's a lot of people that say that I just don't want to play this no more because this community is this. If I actually share, the reason I don't share a lot because I don't like sharing toxicity that much. I only show it every now and then, you know, to let you know like stuff I deal with every now and then. But I deal with a lot more than y'all see, and more on the Overwatch community. It's just crazy. The Overwatch community, y'all gotta tone y'all attitude down. Y'all get too full of yourselves over a video game. But yeah, it's just crazy if you don't play the way they want you to play. You still win, and that's the funniest part. You still win. You show your skills great in a great way. You do all that stuff, and you still get trashed because you didn't play how that person wanted you to play. Well, it's the meta. Says who? A few other people? Oh, okay. Good for them. That doesn't speak for everybody. Well, that person's top 500. Okay, good for them to take the time in to do that. Just because they took the time in to be top 500 don't mean that they know it all. You know, and that goes for every game. You know, you're really good. I give you credit. Now let me be really good at how I want to play. Let this person be good at how they want to play. And like I used to say, as long as one, you're having fun, and two, you get the dub for those who play competitively, at the end of the day, competitively, the focus is to win. So as long as you win, you know, it shouldn't matter that much. But yeah, I think us as gamers got to really be careful because I look on the back end and I'm like, goodness gracious, these players are kicking these players out. Because, and for those who are like, well, they should get thick skin, everybody ain't going to have thick skin. Me, I can ignore someone and move on. You know, I will tell you, if I didn't have thick skin, I would have been stopped playing Overwatch. You know, I would have been stopped playing. The Overwatch community is ridiculous. You know, when it comes to, you know, I know it all and forget everybody else who try to give me opinions because I'm this rank or whatever, or you're trash and sending private messages, you should die. Like, what the heck is wrong with y'all? You know, like, die over a game? Goodness gracious, going at people personally over a game. But I really believe the gaming community is not just a fighting game. It's not just Overwatch. It's not just called whatever game, sports, 2K, FIFA, whatever it is. I think us gamers need to start looking at ourselves and saying, am I the problem? Do I help encourage people not to play this game no more? And you can say, well, that's good. I don't want this person to play anyway. But think of your lifespan with this game, because these casual players that you call them are the reason the game is doing well. They're the ones buying the battle pass or the skins because they just like how it looks. Somebody, they just don't even think about all this stuff that Twitter be saying, like, oh, they're greedy. They don't even look at that. They look at, oh, that looks cool, let me buy it. There's a lot of people that are like that. They sit up there and trash how someone plays or how their enjoyment is, and it messes it up for everybody. Because everybody doesn't have to be thick-skinned. I've learned that in life. Just because I'm thick-skinned don't mean everybody else has to. So be courteous. That's the biggest thing. Be courteous of the other player. Now, I'm not talking, like I said, being the toxic players are a different conversation. That's another conversation for another day. There are different casual players and those who are just casually on there just to mess up your day. That's a whole different conversation. But casual players are one of the main reasons that games are selling so well. Think about it. You've seen how bad games can be. I'm not going to name them, but you've seen how bad games have been. Some certain titles. Why do you think they still make sales? It ain't because of y'all. It ain't because some of y'all stopped playing. Some of y'all ain't buying the battle passes. Some of y'all ain't doing. It's the ones who ain't paying attention to that or just don't care. They don't care about the betterment of the game. They just want to play with their friends. And you want to know something? Super Smash Brothers. I had no idea that was a competitive scene. Had no idea. For the longest time, I thought that was a game you went to your friend's house, had a party, everybody's in a circle, they play, fool around, and that's it. I did not know how serious until I got into this YouTube thing, how serious the community is. I was like, dang, people breaking controllers and TVs and fighting over a Super. I remember I used to say that over Super Smash, but I was one of them casual players that made Nintendo a lot of money. Because I was one out of the millions of people that bought it just for that reason. I said, to have fun with Donkey Kong, Mario, and whoever other guest character is. Gotta be kind to them. You don't even have to say nothing. If it's something they do that annoys you, you have your right to be annoyed, but just watch how you go at it. Sometimes just be quiet. I've learned that there's some things I don't like how people play, whether it's casual or not. I don't sit there and tell them how to do it. And then there was sometimes I did, and I told myself to shut up. Yo, why stop jumping? Shut up. Like, I would tell myself that because it's like, who am I to tell that person? Win the game. If I can't beat a guy who's jumping all day, then I need to look at myself in the mirror. That's just not. I can't blame him if I lost again. No, I'm not. I can't handle somebody that jumps. That's a me problem. And I think we all need to start doing that more. And that's just my take. And I believe the community would be better. The community would be better, and more people would keep playing the game, which then would make the game more lucrative financially, which then would make more content, which then make the game better. And it'll make the community better too, because it's a never-ending cycle. That's one thing I've noticed in all these years. It's a never-ending cycle with all these different games. I congratulate you for being really good, but the next person doesn't have to be as good as you. And as Max said, somebody doesn't want to put that time in, and they have every right to not want to. It's okay. That's why you're in the master race. You can play with those, like I'm talking about Street Fighter, for example. You can play with those who have your mindset. When you get on casual, Matt, or if you go and start from the beginning, don't be surprised at what you see. Everybody doesn't have that kind of, some just have, I want to have a blast. Get some snacks, get something to drink, get some friends over or family or whatever, or even by yourself. I was a gamer that just loved being by myself and just playing back in the day. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say. It was a lot, but I saw that video and I was like, Max makes a great point, and it's not just for fighting games, for games in general. Leave these casual players alone. If you don't like it, for most games, I can't speak for every game, there is a rank system. There is a, if you don't want to play rank, then have fun, extra fun with the casual players, with the ones who are sitting there just moving the joystick, And I'm not just, like I said, that's why I said in the beginning, I was at fault of that at the time. And so, yeah, I understand it can be frustrating, but that's a you problem. That's a me problem. It's not their problem. Let them do their thing. Some people are getting off work, have the longest day, whatever the day is, and they just want to chill and have a good time and fool around with the buttons. Let them. Well, this game is meant to be professional. That's nobody. Who said that? Who said that? You? You don't speak for millions of people. I said that to myself. My opinion does not go for the match. That's why I always keep it to my opinion. That's what I think. I can be wrong. And I think we all should have that. You know what? I can be wrong. So, anyway. Yeah. Thank you, Max. I bumped to that video, and I'm glad I saw it. So, yeah. See you later.